Hey, good day, everybody. Steve Prisbrowski here. Welcome to tip number 33 in the series 101 Tips to Ace Your Promotional Exams. Let's get going. As a reminder, my website, code3firetraining.com, has a lot of great free stuff on there. Check it out if you haven't already. And as a reminder as well, these tips are based on the 101 Tips to Ace Your Promotional Exam book that was recently published through Fire Engineering Books and Videos, my fourth book that I'm very excited about, given all the, I think, great advice I have to offer for anyone preparing for promotion out there. So let's touch on tip number 33. So just to go back a little bit, in tips 31 and 32, we discussed finding mentors within your own department. That was 31. And then in 32, we discussed finding mentors within other fire departments, just to branch out your network a bit. So now, tip number 33. I'm going to force you to really go out on a limb here and really expand your horizons. Find your mentors who work outside of a fire department. So not just your own department, not just other fire departments, which is sort of our comfort zone, but those in other those outside of the fire department. You may go, huh? So let me talk about some of these things. So again, sort of the same thing as what I touched on in the previous tip. Start taking classes, because sometimes there may be non-fire service folks that are in classes with you. And when I say non-fire service outside the fire service, I'm talking about maybe people that work for your city, work for your county, law enforcement professionals, public works professionals. You may not find those obviously in the fire specific classes or conferences, but now if you're taking, say, I'll use an example in our area, there's a lot of cities that have annual leadership programs, like the city of Cupertino leadership program, the city of, Campbell leadership program, where a lot of these cities, and I know this is not just around the Bay Area, but it's around the country, a lot of cities or counties have like regional leadership programs for up and coming leaders. So you'll have members, not just fire department, but from all the city departments, fire, police department, public works, parks and recreation, libraries, city administration, and not even just city or county staff, but also people from private industry, from businesses. So there's a lot of these folks. You may go, why the hell do I need to talk to them? They're probably not going to be on my oral board or my assessment center. Never say never. Now, depending on where your department's located at and how easy it is to get promotional raters, I've actually seen it's not uncommon to have raters that work for cities. I was just helping a department out about a week ago for their assistant chief test, and it was mostly fire service personnel, mostly chief officers like myself, but there was a city manager from one of the local towns. And someone may go, why would a city manager be there? Well, she was not overseeing the fireground simulation. Why would she do that? She was there for the oral interview. So she was there, and you may go, why would a city manager, what would a city manager know about a fire assistant chief oral interview? Well, think about it. Who's the fire chief report to in most departments? The fire chief usually reports to maybe the city council, a city manager, someone of that level, or assistant city manager. And in the fire chief's absence, who's going to be there? Well, the number two, the assistant chief or the deputy chief, depending on what the structure is. So yeah, assistant city managers, city managers, or even public works director or police captain. It's not uncommon for our department sometimes have police captains, which are usually equivalent to deputy chiefs, like in the fire department. So a high ranking command police chief, police captain, or even police deputy chief, whatever the rank structure is, on your oral board, obviously paired with some fire folks, but they may be on the oral board. And let's say you have a writing exercise. It's not hey, have the city manager evaluate your writing skills, because guess what? If you're a deputy going for a deputy chief, assistant chief, fire chief position, you're going to be writing a lot. You're going to be writing staff reports. You're going to write reports that will go to the city staff, the city council, and you maybe have to be that one that goes in front of the city council to defend it in the absence of your fire chief. So taking classes, obviously social media, maybe not so much Facebook, but LinkedIn is a great resource to start to connect with many people outside the fire service. Obviously you can do so with a normal social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, but especially LinkedIn can connect you with a lot of city folks, county folks, state government folks, private industry folks. Again, back to the previous tip, maybe friends of friends or family members, and again, all you have to do is ask the question, what's the worst they can say? No. But finding mentors outside of the fire service will help give you a different perspective. especially if you're going up for the executive chief level positions, like I mentioned, fire chief, assistant, deputy chief, getting to know those folks in city leadership positions, city administrative positions, because again, those are the people that may be hiring the fire chiefs or the deputy chiefs. So they have a chance to get to know um, get to share with you what they're looking for in future executive chiefs. So, here's some other suggestions. I know I've touched on a lot of these, but personnel from other governmental agencies or other city or county departments, without a doubt, because think about it. As a firefighter or a captain at the firehouse, you probably don't interact much with other city departments. I mean, you'll probably interact with law enforcement because you run calls and the police department shows up, or you may have cops that stop by the firehouse. You may know those lower level folks, which again is great to have those relationships. But again, if you're going for maybe battalion chief or higher, start to maybe reach out to those other folks, and hopefully through your interactions, you've had a chance, maybe like via attending a class, or maybe, like I said, some other city function or training drill or something else. Also, business leaders, private industry folks, club members. When I say club members, I mean like the Rotary Club, Lions Club, Kiwanis Club. And you may go, how the heck would I ever get to know those folks? Well, in most communities, those folks are very active and very actively supporting their fire department, their police department, and their cities and communities, because that's what these community-based clubs are for, to help their communities. So it's not uncommon for me, when I was a captain or even as a battalion chief and now as a deputy chief, that I may be asked to go, hey, the Rotary Club is having a public safety day, their breakfast, or the Lions Club. Would you be willing to give a 15-minute speech on an overview of the fire department? We'll give you the PowerPoint presentation, and feel free, not everyone gets to do that, obviously, but if you're a good speaker and your command staff has trust in you, they may have you do that, or they may have you come with them just to represent the department. But it's a great way to get to know folks, and also you can join. You can join as a member of a lot of these groups. You're like, why the hell would I want to be a Rotary Club member or Lions Club or Kiwanis Club? Well, if you want to go up for the higher level chief ranks, especially the fire chief ranks, it's almost an expectation. And even if it's not an expectation, it's the right thing to do and a smart move for the fire chiefs or even the deputies to be embedded within some of these groups, because these are the community leaders that can help your department out and help your department go in the right direction. That's why I'm sharing this, because they can benefit the department. But again, these are people, and usually high level community leaders, that can help you, and again, they may be more than happy to mentor you. And again, back to friends and family and so forth. But mentoring, obviously, it's good to have your mentors within the department. It's good to have mentors in other fire departments. And it's also good to have just mentors in any industry, in any walk of life. I mean, if you think about it, you've been mentored from day one by those that raised you, your parents, your grandparents, maybe your brothers and your sisters, your family members, those people that you're around. But find your friends, mentors, and make the best of it. So as always, thank you very much for the gift of your time. We'll talk a little bit more about mentoring in the next episode, because I think it's that valuable to hit on. So until the next episode.